Selassie was once asked about Christ, in which he referenced whom, the one born in a manger compared to the one born in a palace. Why? Because the real Christ, father, will be a king. So ask yourself, when Jesus was born, was Joseph the king, considering Joseph is the father of Jesus? Now ask yourself this. If Joseph goes by the name of Solomon, that means his father was the king when Solomon was born. In other words, Solomon is Christ and Jesus is not. But either way, they're both man. Therefore, they cannot be God. So let's read. Praise be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war. Lord, what is man that you care for him? The son of man that you think of him. Man is like a breath. His days are like a fleeting shadow. Part your heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains so that they smoke. Send forth lightning and scatter the enemies. Shoot your arrows and rout them. Reach down your hand from on high. Deliver me and rescue me from the mighty waters, from the hands of the foreigners, whose mouths are full of lies, whose right hands are deceitful. Haile Selassie the first. Follow God, not man. So let's watch. And it came to pass, as they departed from him, Peter said unto him, Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles. That means tents. One for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elias. Now let's read this one. And as they were being separated from him, Peter said to Jesus, Instructor, it is fine for us to be here, so let us erect 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. In other words, Jah, or Ah, is the same as saying us, as. So AS is the same as saying AH. Now read this. The second book of the prophet Esdras. So Esdras is just another name for Solomon. The son of Sarias, the son of Azarias. He's also the son of Heli. So, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. That means Jacob is David. Because Joseph is from the city of David because he was the house and family of David. And that would make him Heli. So when Jesus began to teach, he was about 30 years old. The son of Joseph, who is the son of Heli. In other words, Heli goes by the name of Sarias. He also goes by the name of Azarias. Therefore, Joseph is a Jehozadak. So and Azariah begot Sariah, and Sariah begot Jehozadak. Now, who is Jehozadak? Josadak. And who is he? He is the high priest. As mentioned in the first book of Esdras. There you will find Esdras the priest. And who is he with? He's with the sons of Jesus, and Jesus is the son of Josadak. So of the sons of Jesus, who is the son of Josadak? In other words, Joseph is the father of Jesus, and Jesus has his own sons. And they're supposed to be here in the time of Revelation. So Esdras the priest brought the law of Moses that was given of the Lord of Israel. It was said on the first day of the 7th month. Therefore, July 1st. So, O Lord, or it will be said on July 1st. There you will find the Lord God Most High, and all the people answered, including Jesus. So you see, Jesus is together with Esdras, who is Moses. And when are they supposed to be here? I brought this people out of bondage. Their leaders will be Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Osias, Amos, Michias, Joel, Abdias, Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, Sophonias, Aggeus, Zechariah, and Malachi. In other words, all those are God's name, including Marumoth, Phoenice, Borith, Osias, Phoenice, Elazar, Eliza. So you notice Eliza sounds a lot like Elias. There you will find the son of Aaron, and Aaron is just another name for Levi, or you could call him Matthew, because Levi basically Matthew. And Aaron is the first Levite, that means he is Levi. And that's what's to happen at the end of times. Now, if you say Haile Selassie backwards, you will get this. As equal A, Elias equals Elijah. So now spell Elias backwards. You will get Haile. Don't forget, A is Az. Jah is Jah. Haile Selassie the first. He is Elijah himself. So let's watch what's going on.
Been promoted by the Illuminati, operating under various names and guises. I say under various names and guises because after the Illuminati was exposed and became too notorious, Weishaupt and his co-conspirators began to operate under various other names. In the United States, immediately after World War I, they set up what they called the Council on Foreign Relations, commonly referred to as the CFR.
In other words, follow Jah. Pay attention who's good, who's bad. And remember this. Remember, God himself said he will be king, then hide his face from a wicked generation. But according to this guy, look what he's saying.
Bible, does it say that the Messiah would be a god or...
The Messiah is Moses, the messenger of God. So the messenger of God is not God. The Messiah is God's messenger, who goes by the name of Moses, who also goes by the name of Esdras, who goes by the name of Solomon. Why? Because Solomon is the one who built the ark. And there's only one ark. So in the first book of Esdras, you will see that Solomon, the son of David, built the ark. In other words, Solomon, who was with Sheba, built the ark. Moses was with Sheba, and he built the ark. In other words, Sheba is supposed to be here in the latter times, as mentioned in Ezekiel 38, just with Solomon, who is Moses. That's why it's called the dynasty of Moses and Sheba, or it's called the Solomonic dynasty with Solomon and Sheba. But Moses, who goes by the name of Solomon, is the son of God. He's a messenger. He's not God himself. For Christ is part divinity and part human nature.
God-like. The very idea that God would take on human form is repulsive to Jews.
Rabbi, it's pretty clear from this video that you have not
The King of Kings literally became God, and the real God has to be a king. Hello.
read the Tanakh. If an idea that literally comes from the Tanakh is repulsive to you, wouldn't have to explain this to you like you're a kindergartner if you just pry open the book. In Yehoshua, or Joshua chapter 5, we read about a man appearing before Joshua to whom he bows down to
Joshua is Jesus, also known as Yeshua or Jeshua.
and worships as Elohim. Before you say that this was an angel
Abraham.
or just a messenger
Abraham is
of
God.
Yahweh that was not
Yahweh
Yahweh,
is Abraham.
well then congratulations, Yehoshua ben Nun is an idolater because he's committing an illegal act of worshiping a being that is not Elohim. You're also forgetting that Elohim manifested himself as a man to our forefather Avram as one of three men in Genesis chapter 18, Genesis or Bereshit. And also in Genesis or Bereshit chapter 32, he wrestles with our forefather Yaakov in the form of a man, and he breaks his hip. Are you going to try to invalidate those stories, or are you going to use the Talmud to try to explain away somehow how it wasn't Elohim that manifested himself?
Elohim is Abraham, who goes by the name of Isaac, who goes by the name of Jacob. But don't forget what was said prior to those fires.
Because didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all there will be an accidental explosion? Accidental fire? And the next thing you know, celebrities' homes will be on fire. Things will be on fire. I pray for the people in its path. But I also...
Follow Jah. Remember this. They like to make up discoveries. Just like Flavius Josephus.
Jim Barfield has somehow figured out where all of King Solomon's treasures are, including the Ark of the Covenant.
Money.
Dude.
So when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, there was this copper scroll, and forever they didn't really know what it meant. And he was a investigator for the fire department, so he's like, I kind of want to give this a shot. And he literally figured it out in like 15 minutes. He's like, this is not a piece of literature. He says it's literally like a treasure map. And he's like, I know that sounds so silly to say it's a treasure.
It is silly. It's just make up. It just proves that they just make up stuff. Anything to hide the fact that Solomon is black and he's from an Ethiopian family. And it is also trying to hide the fact that Christ's father has to be a king when he was born. Jesus' father was not a king when he was born. So it goes King David to Solomon to Jesus. Solomon, father, was a king. Jesus was born before Solomon became a king. Remember that.
Treasure map.
Dude, someone call Nicolas Cage right
Right
now.
He's just like looked at it from just like an investigative point of view. And he's like, oh, this is what it's saying. It's here, 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 and here. And then he went to this one rabbi and showed him. And at first, this rabbi is just like, okay, you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Why? Because Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. And Jesus is the son of Joseph. So when Joseph was born, Israel was king. So Israel is King David. We know that from Psalm 135. So let's watch what they're saying.
He's like, can I show you? And he showed him, and the rabbi, he stood up, grabbed his face, and kissed him on each cheek and says, this goes against everything that we've ever known about this scroll.
Why? Because it tells you of Ethiopia it shall be said, because Ethiopia is Zion, it will be said, this one and that man was born in her. So you see, and that man, this one and that one, this and that man. So who is that man? Pay attention. 1972, they represent the year of the child. And don't forget, Haile Selassie is elect of God, elect of himself. Therefore, he cannot be his own child. In other words, two different angels. Follow God, not man. Father and son. But God is Father.
See down to my knees, greetings, some the juice of Kush, Jew historical big. One king of king, I saw the